She wasn't born, she was built. Crafted to be the perfect weapon, beautiful, irresistible, and programmed to kill any human who got too close. Her white hair, her soft skin, her eyes all designed to seduce, then strike. But when her mission brought her to a lone human soldier, he didn't raise his weapon. He wrapped her in a blanket, gave her a name, and looked at her like she was more than just a tool. Now the code in her mind is breaking, because for the first time, she doesn't want to hurt. She just wants to be held again. She had no name, just a designation, Unit A-17. She was grown in a vat of synthetic amniotic fluid, her cells fine-tuned to mimic organic beauty. Blue skin, luminescent under moonlight. Long, silken white hair, engineered strand by strand for maximum visual pull. A figure sculpted to distract even the most disciplined soldier, thick thighs, narrow waist, generous chest, and eyes that could lie without blinking. Her purpose wasn't to live. It was to kill. She'd been released on the edge of a human outpost, her false memories stitched into place, memories of being lost, abused, desperate. She was made to beg, to ask for warmth, and then, when the soldier let his guard down, to end him with a retractable needle buried in her wrist. But the human who found her didn't act like the files predicted. He didn't try to touch her, didn't look her up and down. He just took off his jacket and placed it over her shaking shoulders. "You look cold," he said softly. The script embedded in her neural core hesitated, waiting for the trigger. Her pupils dilated. The moment was here. He was close enough. She could stab his heart in under a second. But her fingers didn't move. He wasn't afraid. His eyes weren't scanning for weakness. He was just looking at her. "Can you walk?" he asked. She nodded slowly. Her voice hadn't been designed for conversation. Just manipulation. But she managed. I think so." He wrapped one arm under hers. His touch wasn't invasive. It was warm. Solid. She blinked hard, recalibrating. She didn't understand why the code didn't execute. The command to kill him had faded. Not failed, faded. Inside the human camp, others stared. She could feel the tension. They didn't trust her, and neither should he. But he argued on her behalf. Said she was injured. Said she needed rest. He gave her food. Watched her eat like she was real. Her room was small, a cot, a blanket, and a mirror. She stared at her reflection for hours. The white hair that framed her high cheekbones. The fullness of her lips. The tears that formed without permission. She wasn't supposed to cry. On the third night, he knocked softly on her door. "I brought you something," he said. It was a datapad with a video. A little girl. Human. Laughing. The caption said, "My daughter, before the war." "She died," he said gently. "The first week of the invasion." Unit A-17. No, she felt something tighten in her chest. The face of the child kept replaying. Not for strategy. Not for infiltration. For something else. It made her throat ache. "I don't know why I'm telling you this," he admitted. "Maybe because you're not talking. But when I look at you, I don't see the enemy. I see someone trying to survive." The words cracked something inside her. She wasn't trying to survive. She wasn't even trying to exist. But now she was trying not to break. One night, her body convulsed. The needle in her wrist ejected on its own. The kill command had reactivated. She cried out and slammed her arm against the wall until the needle retracted again. She was sobbing, like the human child had, like his daughter must have. He burst in and saw the blood. Saw her curled in the corner, gripping her arm. "Don't touch me," she screamed. "I don't want to hurt you." He didn't run. He didn't flinch. Instead, he sat on the floor beside her and opened his arms. She collapsed into them. She cried for hours. Not for pain, but because his embrace didn't demand anything. It didn't expect anything. It was just safe. In the weeks that followed, she learned things. How to cook eggs. How to laugh quietly at his jokes. How to sleep without nightmares. He taught her how to hold a pencil. How to read without reading for mission intel. One morning he looked at her, really looked at her, and said, "You need a name." She flinched. I'm not." "Yes, you are. You're not a weapon. You're not a number." He smiled. "How about Elara?" The name echoed in her chest like an explosion. She whispered it, like it might disappear. "Elara." He nodded. "It suits you." But peace wasn't permanent. A patrol scanned her blood one night. Detected the military coding. The commander ordered her execution at dawn. She didn't run. She accepted it. But he didn't. He stood between her and their guns. "She chose not to kill me," he yelled. "She had the chance. She fought her own programming. She's a weapon, one soldier shouted. No, he said, voice shaking. She was. But now she's someone's daughter who never got to grow up. Someone's sister who never got to love. She's someone who learned to cry. The silence that followed was deafening. The commander didn't lower his weapon. But he didn't fire either. That night they left. Together. They crossed the barren edges of both their worlds. No longer soldier and weapon. But man and woman, human and something more. In the middle of nowhere, under broken stars, he cupped her face in both hands and whispered, You're alive now, Alara. Not programmed. Not perfect. Just alive. She closed her eyes and leaned into his touch. And for the first time, she wasn't afraid of the future. She wanted it. With him.